Good morning. I just wanted to chat, I guess, a little bit about the cards that just arrived from DriveThruCards. All of this started in June. I just wanted to print, like my grandmother gave me a deck a long time ago, which has no numbers, no text other than Pam's little signature there. This is a better one to look at, the Fool. And we'll get to these cards. These are the latest ones that arrived yesterday from DriveThruCards right there. I cannot recommend them for doing your own deck. This one up here is from Make Playing Cards. I can recommend them, but they do cost more. I think this was 30 something, 31, and whereas this was 17. I forget what the Game Crafter is. That one was pretty easy to do as well. But between these two, I would definitely go with Make Playing Cards. Then possibly that's $19. I guess I forgot the cost. I think it costs more than that. So definitely number one for them in terms of, just doing it yourself. I'm assuming that if you're doing like a big batch of cards, like you're going to sell them, like you're a self-publisher, indie, whatever people call them, then you probably don't want to use this company unless you want to sell your deck for $90 or something. And I've gotten cards from the Game Crafter, which I like, and I've gotten lots of cards from DriveThruCards. Once I discovered them, I found a deck like this, which comes in these cool boxes, the plastic cases. That's the Pam's Vintage Tarot. I think I also got the original from there. You can tell it's DriveThruCards when you get one of those things. I think these are printed in Kansas, even though the company seems to be in Georgia. At least that's where the box came from. Also got this from there, DriveThruCards. I guess I can just move my crystal out of the way. I was trying to help the video with putting a crystal in there. I got Bridge Witches from DriveThruCards. And I've shown all these decks before, but there's two, and there's lots of other playing cards I got from them because I kind of like some of their games and stuff. And I guess this is a game. I haven't shown it yet. Madge the Awakening Tarot. But I don't think it's meant as it says suitable for standalone use, and there is a book with it, so I'll see. But so far, I don't think so. But I did get this kind of odd, cool kind of deck. I think it's cool, especially what he says on the page where it's selling it. I like that thing he talks about Pam herself. But these are called Pixies cards, Universal Game and Story cards. And I wanted to point out, well, it occurs to me, these are kind of complicated and poker size, which is okay for me. But look at the top of the sun there. Basically, whoever's doing this kind of makes the point that there wasn't an oops line on top of the sun. It was more like a printer mistake, which I guess is a possibility. Who knows? No one will ever know, I guess. So let's get the crystal out of the way and see what I have here in the book. But first, I did pull some cards to kind of summarize the month of June in terms of printing cards. I started out a bit like this, kind of foolish. And then by the time I got to DriveThruCards, it felt a bit like this, except I didn't have a partner really pushing the big rock up. And then once they arrived yesterday, as I'll show in a second, I felt like that. And then as I flipped through the deck, it got a little darker and worse. And then at the end, I felt a bit like this. I kind of like this deck. This is the Lynn Ward, I think. I don't know. I think that's what it is. And like any battle with the dragon, sometimes the dragon wins. I think in this case, out of the 3, the dragon won twice, and I kind of have a win with make playing cards. For me, anyway. For what I'm looking to do. If I was going to do a deck for sale or to give away or whatever, I'd definitely get someone else to do it that knows what they're doing. So I'll put this on top of this deck here while I read from the book to indicate that that's a no. No to me. And then after looking at the cards, I kind of doodled this, which has a kind of a sadness about it. It's not very well done. And it's an attempt to recreate that crystal, kind of. But anyway, let's get over here to the words, see what I wanted to do. Oh, I think I forgot the thing I want to show, but I'll just put links to them. I'm saying here that today's Tuesday, July 10th, 2018. Yesterday, my grandmother gave me this deck a long time ago where she cut off the names and the numbers because she thought it was important to spend time with the images and let whatever comes to you come to you. So that's what I had printed the 3 times here, which is, I mean, even the bad one is still cool to me because in the past I've used various things, construction paper, UPO paper, put the paper into those plastic sleeves you can buy, make a deck that way. But it's never as good as even this right here, which is pretty bad. And I write horrible printing. None of the colors match up with the TIFF images or the original JPEG images or the PDF file that I uploaded to them. And I kind of make a comment that were these cut by Edward Scissorhands. I forgot the image here. But then again, there's only $17, which I guess is kind of a lot, but not really. And I already said my final verdict is if I do the 2 decks I'm thinking about doing, I will use make playing cards for those and for any personal decks, and not the other 2, Game Crafter or DriveThruCards. But I will still buy from both of them because I like the decks I've gotten from there. And I surmise, or I'm guessing, that you probably get better service if you buy, you buy 500 decks. They're probably going to do a better job, I think. I don't know that for sure. What's next? I say my 2 ideas for personal decks. Get to arting. I want to use the iPad and the pencil because they're kind of cool in conjunction with Procreate. Makes it even cooler. That's some of the best software ever for $10, I swear. And then, because typically you get a deck, you get a book, a little white book or a big book. That's the next thing I want to check out because I found some software which looks really cool. It's kind of expensive. It's called Vellum, as in, the dried out calf's stomach or skin or whatever they used to write on and paint on. Vellum. So I'm going to check that out next. And in that software, you can write, like in Scrivener, Word, whatever you use, you can write your book. But while you're writing, you can see it over on another panel. You can see how it's going to look in a PDF, all the EPUB formats like Kindle and all those things, as well as a print format. You can see how it's going to look as a paper book. So I think that's pretty cool, and it looks pretty easy to use. It even does images. You can see how your cover is going to look. I mean, it just looks like really great software. Kind of pricey. And I made a note here because I guess I was thinking about this. Of all time, what's my favorite software? And of course, C and Ruby is put 5, 6 people through college and paid for a lot of stuff, and a lot of that typing was done in Sublime Text, and before that TextMate. So that's like software to create software. Those were cool, my favorites. And then Procreate has become my favorite, but that only works because it's joined up with an iPad and a pencil, which is cool. And then we'll see about Vellum, but so far I watched a tutorial, which I'll try to remember to link below, that it just looks like it's something else for doing a book. You can even write right in the thing. You don't need to have Scrivener or Word or anything else. So we'll see about that. I'll do maybe a review of that in the future. Also, this is being lit in a new way. I got 2 very powerful lamps that have paper over that kind of diffuse the light, but I think it's brighter. Let me put my hand in there, see some flesh, put this back in there, see the crystal. I'm trying to come up with things to see. Let's put this back in, so something with, see what the glare does on that. That's not bad right there, right? So that's all I have to say. I think I'm done. I will also link to 2 web pages I found, which goes through a lot more printers. And a lot of the ones I clicked on, when they request a quote, then I know it's not for me, because I'm just doing 1, maybe 2. I actually did 3 of these. I gave 2 to other people. I did 2 of these, gave 1 to a daughter, and I just did 1 of these. and I need to show the main issue I had is that's not even close. I mean, let me get this out of the way. Move out of the way. I thought I was done, but I'm not. Look at that. That's not even close. In terms of color, not even close. The closest by far and the best cut is the one from Make Playing Cards. But I guess I said that right. Look at that. What is that color? These are darker. This is close. Very close to what I wanted. Let's turn it. Ugh. At least do the same card. I may never find the fool. Found it. There it is. But the problem with the DriveThruCards and some Edward Scissorhands or whoever cut them, look at that. Look at that edge. I mean, you can actually feel it change. And you can see it's more torn than cut right there. And then white on the back. And I had wide black borders. How can there be any white? It was just cut so badly. And they're all off. As you lay them out, the border goes all over the place. Despite making the PDF using InDesign, where you make 1 page and put images on all the other 77 pages. So it's a no for DriveThruCards for my personal use. So with that, I'm going to end it there, and I think that's the end of me trying various print options. And I'm going to stick with this one for now. And with that, I will say peace.